hammered by halftime. I either want to see a Broncos-Seahawks rematch where Peyton Manning takes it to him and gets a second ring, or I want to see a Broncos-Panthers Super Bowl, and I'll be here to watch that and see all the all the good commercials.
You know we're having a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
party
no, I've already requested off. So
my party planner over here will have that.
Yeah. February 1st.
February 1st or 2nd?
Yeah.
Was that Sunday?
1st.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll request
Super
off.
Bowl Sunday, and I will be off
We're gonna
Monday.
make delicious food and Super Bowl themed food.
We'll make like bacon wrap stuff.
Everything will be wrapped in
Yeah, it's
bacon.
always the best.
And you're welcome too, Joe, if you want to come. If you want to make the drive up here.
I will have a tea set out for you.
Depends on if we might actually be open for the Super Bowl. Who knows?
Well, then you need to come down with a cough or something,
Buy a
dude.
tea set solely for that purpose.
You need to come down with a little cough, a little scratch in the throat.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
They probably wouldn't fall for that. But you never know. Actually, you do never know.
As long as the Cowboys don't go to the Super Bowl, because I don't want to see the Cowboys or the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
No, that might happen.
Don't scare me like that.
I'm running a fever right now. We got Heather Bumpus has showed up in the man cave. We also have
There's more whiskey coming.
my sexy roommate Danny
Woo! Woo woo!
and Taylor.
The whistles go woo!
Taylor, we got.
Have y'all seen that video?
See, because when we have the man cave, when two bearded men are in it, women just come. They show up. I don't know what it is. It's
True story.
It's magical.
It's
magical.
2 doors.
We got a couple other bearded bros on the way, and one of them is bringing pizza, which I cannot wait for.
And whiskey.
And whiskey.
And whiskey, and more whiskey.
And more whiskey, but I'm craving pizza right now.
Yeah, I was
Baby daddy and tattoo
baby daddy and tattoo
We're
artist.
not even going to go into that anymore, okay?
We'll talk about that later.
No,
We'll talk about that
we
later.
won't.
I don't think she's forgiven us for that yet.
All right, Joe, who do you have in the Super Bowl?
Anybody likes to promise, so.
Well, I think that I have Packers, Seahawks, and then I think Baltimore is going to make it. I think Baltimore is going to beat Denver and sneak their way into the Super Bowl. And then
Really?
I think that I'd have to, if I had to pick. I mean, man, I don't know. Like, I love Aaron Rodgers, so it could be like Packers, Ravens.
Oh, really?
Packers, Ravens. Who do you think's going to win?
And then I think the Packers would win that game.
Yeah, Packers are hitting on all cylinders right now. I mean,
It all comes down to if their secondary shows up, if their safeties show up, their corners,
which they have been every single game so far.
They have a pass rush. They got good linebackers. They have good corners. They just have crappy safeties, and that's pretty much it.
I go all the way
That's why
back to
they
the
can't
beginning
stop
of the
it.
season when they came out the gate 0-2, and Aaron Rodgers says,
Well, a travesty that nobody ever talks about for the Green Bay Packers is Nick Collins. He was a free safety, and he was like an all-pro safety, and he was in his third year out of like USF, I think, or UAB.
Uh-huh.
He was super, super good, and he had a freak knee injury, and that was like 2 years ago, and he can never play football again. And that's the reason their secondary has been so bad for like the past 2 or 3 years. Is they lost this kid, Nick Collins. Look him up. He was super good. All-pro, Pro Bowl, like Ed Reed-esque, and then just got a freak knee injury in the offseason and never played again. And now their secondary's pretty much garbage at the safety spot.
yeah, but when you have an offense that stays on the field as much as they do, you can do.
True, but that's also why they lost games to like the Saints in the playoffs at home when it's cold outside. Because the Saints had never won a game in the cold weather before because they just get hit on those seam routes and on the skinny posts down the middle. And if you can't stop anybody, I mean, it's just a roll of the dice every time.
But see, they've been doing that. That's how they got to where they're at.
No, but that's also how they've lost games that they've lost to two teams like San Francisco at home and to the New Orleans Saints at home. Because if you can't play consistent defense, especially in the middle of the
Yeah, but
field.
those games were like way in the beginning of the season.
No, I'm talking about in the playoffs in the past 2 years.
Oh.
I'm talking about like in crunch time in the playoffs with the setup they have now.
Okay.
They've choked a couple times already.
Ah,
Send me
okay.
a message. New Year's.
Well, I'd like to see that, and we're going to have, and again, you're going to call in sick, you and my son. The ranch will survive. The ranch will survive.
See, what's funny is I can make sure your son gets the day off better than I can make sure I get the day off.
Let's do her.
Well, both of y'all need to get up here.
Okay, well that's good then.
She's not annoying.
Well, hey, when we come back out of the break, if you want to stick around, I want to talk to you about your film for a little bit. And it's too bad you couldn't make it into the man cave today, but definitely try to get you up here next week.
Yeah, he's like, Taylor.
I want to get your.
for sure. So yeah,
I want to get your help. I want to get your help setting up some cameras, and I should have a new tower in here with a little more powerful than my little laptop, chugging along.
So we need to get together, drink some beers. We can discuss setup and stuff like that, and I can see what I can help you out with.
Yeah, get something where we can switch from camera to camera, the software. You know,
You just need like
an engineering software. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing is
Cool.
It all depends on the budget and everything like that, and I have a lot of that stuff already. So.
Well, it's kind of like if you can bring it and set it up, so we could use it, and then I can know what I need. I can make a list. Hell, I might even rent it. I might rent it off you if you're not using it. You can just leave it here until you need it. And then I can.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
because we got some big things happening in 2015, and I'm not at liberty to really discuss all the details, but we're going to have video.
we'll have a nice chit chat.
Cool beans.
But I have to be honest with you. I shaved my beard. It's already starting to grow back.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wait.
I had to start over.
There's some interference. There's some interference. I can't quite hear you. What did you say?
Shaved it?
Hold on. It's.
Because no one can catch her.
Did you hear? This
I don't
static,
know.
wasn't it?
I heard some static.
Is
Yeah.
that like static? Okay. I'm sorry, Joe. We had some static and came across something about somebody shaving a beard. I just can't imagine. So I'm gonna. That's a technical glitch.
Disregard that, folks.
Disregard that. Nothing to see here. Move on.
Yeah. It's already coming. It's already back.
Well, you got to get that beard back, bro.
No. I haven't seen. The last time I shaved, I was like 22, 23, and I'm like, I'm going to turn 28 in March. So I was like, I wonder what my face looks like. So it was for New Year's. It was to look nice for New Year's for my owners. I had to wear a suit, but I shaved it into a really nasty handlebar mustache. Like
nice.
Night.
Well, as long as you have a handlebar mustache.
As long as there's some hair on that face.
And I had the Lionel Richie stash. And walking around singing Lionel Richie for a few days. So.
I apologize, folks. I'm fighting a cold right now, so.
He's like, well, I'll take her.
Well, very cool. All right, we'll stick around. Let's take an early break. We'll come back and talk about your project, where you're at right now, and some of the things that you've. See if I can get this song to play. Nope. I tell you what, man.
Holy shit.
All right, we'll be right back. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, talking to Joe Huggybear Huggins, Patrick Danger Davis, Taylor, joining us for the first time in the Man Cave, along with Heather Bumpus and my hot roommate Danny. And we'll be back. We'll be back after these messages.
I came out of the woods by choice. The shelter also gave them shade.
Trust Princeton Fuel in Arlington to help you avoid the Montreal Express this winter. Their professionals will attend to your every heating need, whether it's oil delivery, new heating systems, or maintenance and repair. Family owned and operated for over 25 years. Located at 46 Frost Street in Arlington. Call Princeton Fuel at 781-643-0058 now, and don't get left out in the cold.
Is your wife wicked hot? Or is she just cold? Do you just want to take a hot shower? Call Savino Mechanical for all your heating, hot water, and cooling needs. Savino Mechanical has been servicing Greater Boston and Southern New Hampshire for over a quarter century. Quality 24-hour service, reasonable rates, satisfaction guaranteed, licensed and insured. And remember, at Savino Mechanical, we are not comfortable until you are. Call Savino Mechanical today at 1-855-624-4280. That's 1-855-624-4280. Savino Mechanical.
Hi, now I know you hear Joe Rocks on their weekly restaurant reviews on Night Talk, 10 p.m. Eastern. And boy, these two like to eat. Right, boys? Well, here's something to review right from your house. Eat24. That's right, eat24.com, with over 25,000 restaurants for you to choose from when you're hungry, many in your area. So review that, boys. Eat24.com. Click, order, and eat. Eat24.com.
Hi, Tom here from Spot On with Lino and Tom. Tune in for some topical discussion and laugh therapy with Lino and me. I'll be covering my favorites like weird news of the week and what I'm liking on Netflix, the next best gadget, and whatever else comes to mind.
We both have our own interests. I love recording on the latest movies being filmed here in Boston, checking out new musical talent, and just talking to people.
We'll also be featuring segments such as on-the-spot interviews where Lynn and I venture out and ask questions of our listening public.
That's my favorite part, besides hanging out with my buddy Tom. Now that's the icing on the cake. And cake, I love talking about cake. We love talking about everything. So tune in Monday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern right here at Armed Radio Global.
Attention World of Tank gamers. Armed and its affiliated divisions are recruiting entire clans and tankers. Armed, the largest and most progressive gaming community on the World of Tanks gaming platform. Now on 3 servers. To join, visit www.armedtanks.net or hashtag Need a Toaster. Toast that, bitches.
Armed Radio Global presents its new 2015 Talk at Night lineup.
Mondays 8 p.m. Eastern. Spot On with Lino and Tom.
Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. Mondays and Fridays, 10 p.m. Eastern.
On Tuesdays, Talk Time with Val, 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by High Five at 10 p.m. Eastern with Johnny and Mikey.
Wednesdays on the air with Mike Allen, 10 p.m. EST, and Thursdays Night Talk with Joe Rocks, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Join the talk now on Ustream TV. Replays on Spreaker. Exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
All right, we are back. Joining me on this Ring Essential Celebrity Hotline, Huggybear Joe Huggins. In studio, Patrick Danger Davis. The paranormal guru, Heather Bumpus. Taylor, who we haven't really figured out yet, so I don't know what her nickname is, but we'll figure something out.
Noodle.
Noodle.
Her name is Noodle.
Like swimming noodle?
No,
or ramen
she
noodle?
used to work at Topgolf, and she would get hella wasted, and that's just, isn't that how...
I'm sorry, say that again?
She would, here, I'll let you tell it real quick.
So when I used to work at Topgolf, I would get really drunk, and I was named Noodle. Why? I'm not sure, but I went with it. So then I started asking everybody when I was hammered, do you want to get noodle wasted? And everyone always went with it.
Noodle wasted. So she's Noodle.
Oh, and last but not least, my hot roommate, Danny.
I'm always here.
In the corners, in the shadows. She's here.
Who's giving me my cold medication, which is spice cider and
whiskey.
Is it your toasted
crushed caramel, roasted caramel whiskey?
Yeah.
I'm gonna crash hard after the show, dude.
I came home yesterday.
I'm gonna crash hard.
I put 2 shots. I walked in. I was like, oh, is that coming? I was like, oh,
All right, well, when she's talking about that, we'll be on here.
Don't do me like Teresa, bitch. I'll take it now.
It's hot.
Have you heard that story?
We'll tell the story later. Joe, you've been filming. You've been traveling around the country, traveling around doing stuff. Tell us where you're at. What's going on with that?
Well, I'm trying to think about where I was last time we spoke.
Well, you were just starting.
So I did my DNA test. I'm pretty sure I told you about that.
Yeah, you told us about that.
Did my DNA test, came back, so I got my results from that. Then I applied for all of my information about my parents through the Department of Child Services post-adoption unit. in Tennessee, which is like the longest thing to write on an envelope ever. The longest thing ever. It sounds like a really bad Law and Order show or something.